All right, hello everybody. Do apologize for the disconnect. It seems like my computer had a small fit, very small fit. So, but I am back now. I do severely apologize. It's just South African internet things, or in this case, a very old graphics card. So I'm trying to make the most of it. Okay, so my sound alert thing is coming through as well. That's not fun. I can't even delete the message. That's fun. That's great. But we should be back into game fairly soon, as we have now reached the end of the spectator delay. And I'm gonna only have my co-caster into the second game so he can watch on his side because it's my computer would not handle it. It's having a small little fit, a tiny little fit, no, tiny one, tiny one. So I will be likely only going to be like having a co-caster second game, which is fine. So to everyone who's hung around and let my computer have its fit, welcome, and I hope you enjoy. I promise there won't be any more. I can try promise there won't be any more technical difficulties. But right now, I'm just trying to get into this League of Legends game. But yeah, here we are. We should be getting in now. We do see, so that's going to be. Got some sick skins in here that we're going to see in game. I'm not going to reveal any of them just yet. Rune-wise, nothing particularly too interesting, nothing too strange, other than maybe like Electrocute for the Twisted Fate. Quite interesting. So like, yeah, let's go here. All right. Now we are here, we are ready, we are in. There we go. So now let's get this all up and running. Let's get rid of the chat. The jungle is lagging on red side. So they are just going to sort that out, which gives me plenty of time to organize the roles. But luckily, all of them are in order, which is absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love it. And now we hide that. And here we go. We are back and we are ready to go. I realized that the logo for Eternal Progress is quite small. I tried to make it bigger, but it didn't come out too hot. Okay, but now we should also... I'm also been thinking of trying to optimize my stream, putting it at 720 and 60 FPS rather than 1080p 60 FPS, because then my computer might have a better time. But at the same time, I do want to give you guys the best possible quality, despite that. But I'm gonna just pop a little chill in chat. So I'm gonna pop some emotes. What emotes do I have available? Oh, I've got my ones. We'll use some of Goose's ones. Want to see Ethan's tricks. Very curious to see what Ethan's got up his sleeve. He is the Ethan. Is he the Ethan? Is this the superior Ethan overlord almost? Okay, so yeah, the jungle is lagging on the side of Eternal Progress, but rune-wise, we do see it is going to be a double Conqueror setup in the top side with Mordekaiser and Vi picking up the Conqueror. Then we're going to have Sealard with the Electrocute. We got Lethal Tempo for Tigger. Then we got Comet for Vitality down the bot side. Alongside the Vayne with Press the Attack rather than Lethal Tempo. Might be a little bit more useful in that single target focus. Is the Melio running the Guardian. Going to be playing Protect the Vayne here. Especially the Vayne picking up Ghost rather than a defensive or aggressive defensive summoner. It's going to go up for a more aggressive one. Going to look for those 1v19 fights. And then we are going to see the common Airy on the Orianna. Nothing too special. Conqueror for the Wukong and Grasp for the Ornn. And right now, it's just all a matter of time. We're going to already see that the Vi is going to be picking up Blue Smite this game. Possibly. Okay, we are officially back. We are just going to have to wait for the little bit of the pause to happen. The pause do be like that, though. It do be like that. But I'm pretty sure my graphics card is going to cry tomorrow. But it's fine. It is what it is. Okay, so can we get in game, please? Can we get in here? Can we get the unpause, please? Thank you. Or do I have to do it myself? I'm gonna have to do it myself, aren't I? Alright. So we are officially back in game. Let's go to the time controls. Let's put that there. Alright, here we go. We are finally into game 1 of this series. The best of 2. Between Era Lost Time and UK Eternal Progress. These two teams, this is the first time these two teams are encountering one another. I think this is also Era's debut in the UraKen tournament. As now this is the third Era team, fourth Era team, which we have casted on this. We have Era Eclipse, we have Era Tempo, we have Era Zenith, and now we have Era Lost Time. And yeah, Eclipse are playing right now against one of the other UK teams. So at this point, we're going to see if Era comes out on top tonight. But then looking at the startups, we do see it is going to be the Green Smite for the Wukong. And Milio opting for the Relic Shield over the Spell Thieves, which I can understand. Does make a lot of sense. Milio, a lot of the times when even I play Milio, there aren't many instances where you're going to do a lot of damage. It's more or less you're just sitting there keeping your ADC alive. Kind of like a Sona. But there are a lot of pings coming out onto Ethan here. A lot of question marks. But it does seem like there is going to be the likelihood of a cheese. As Vitality going to walk into a Wukong, into a Vayne and an Emilio. But then very easy trade backs with the Mantra Q along with a simple Jinx auto attack. And I think very curious to see how the Milio lane goes. I've not seen high elo Milio played quite some time. I can't classify myself as even low elo, sitting in little old serval me. But yeah, now with the top side, Mordekaiser is a big counter over to the Ornn from what chat has made me aware of. And I think also Jinx Karma can be quite oppressive, especially into the likes of a Vayne, who is very single target damage, where Jinx can do a lot more AoE. And Karma can kind of bully the Vayne just a little bit. Now, a bit of a CS, only a little bit, about 200 gold lead there. And that is very much probably the Twisted Fate passive, as well as the Mordekaiser picking a bit of a lead in the top lane. And Jinx and Vayne just trading some autos. Both junglers started on the top side of the map and now pathing bot. So it does seem like there is a bit of a bot lane priority here. And they do want to try and get either of these hyper carrying snowball lanes ahead. Because one thing's for sure, Milio with any hyper carry is rather deadly, is rather dangerous. But at the same time, so is a Jinx and a Karma. Now we do see they are going to be fighting over that blue buff as Karma and Jinx do not steal it away. But the Wukong is now being pressured a slight bit. They have watered the jungle. They are tracking him quite well. But then Papa Smurfy taking a bit of a bonk to the head. As Sealard going to try and push his wave here. Really just wants to play for the level 6 on the Twisted Fate here. While Papa Smurfy does get knocked up by the Ornn. Could go for the Q. Does go for the E, auto attack Q, and procs the passive. Big shield coming out there. Really good trades for Papa Smurfy. As now Vi picks up the first scuttle and is moving very quickly over to the next scuttle there. But Wukong is going to be picking that. He's going to be going for it. It is very unlikely that Wukong will be able to pick it up, as there is top lane and mid lane prior for the Vi. So that is a very easy double scuttle pick up for Mad Demulon. Some would say that Mad Demulon's name was inspired by Gromulon. It's just, that's how it is. But now Ethan will be caught out here by Demulon. Will not take much damage there. But this Ornn is taking a bit of a beating from Mordekaiser. As now there are pings from the Vi. Is going to be looking for an invade in the top side. Twisted Fate has come to assist. Stun card does connect. But now Vi is going to be yoinking away the Cam's fight. There is a smite coming out for the Wukong. But now, there we go. Then we got to get the Milio W dropped out. I haven't seen it with the skin yet. So it's very, very pretty looking skin. Won't lie. See, Vayne, you already uses the tumble, but has to condemn to get the Karma away. Will not proc the passive. But we'll proc it on Tigger. Tigger has to be careful. He has to burn the flash. The PTA plus Vayne passive. Doing some work there. So Jinx is going to play a little bit more careful. As now the aggression is pressured in favor of Vayne. ODC TF has picked up a slight CS deficit, but is only about a little bit of minions behind. A little bit gold behind, but that is just Twisted Fate passive. So nothing to really go off on there. But Mordekaiser still doing Mordekaiser things. Still doing being very abusive, very aggressive towards this Ornn here. Gonna takes any Q damage that he can, avoids taking the auto attack with the brittle, and it's basically full HP again. And the best part is the Mordekaiser did not have to burn the teleport. The Ornn didn't either. So yeah, very up. Mordekaiser takes the Ornn to Brazil. Ornn is running for his dear life. He's quite small. Passive is procced, but then the Ornn will walk it out relatively easily. Kind of maybe he's trying to force it back there. Will likely force out a TP. As now Karma is going to be poking out that Vayne just a little bit more. But Wukong and Milio want to look for a play. They are going to look for the play here. Tigger does not have flash. Vayne is going to walk up. Karma is there. But then Damien is going to try and flash out as far as he can. Tigger has no flash, and that is first blood going over to Vayne. As a very well-executed gank there coming out from Eternal Progress. A Sealot taking a lot of damage from Oriz. Will not get the card. But now Ethan will get caught out by Vitality. But then immediate control will get dropped. Demulon will pick up this. Will pick up the Scuttle Crab. Does have the smite available. And we'll take it really easy. But the stun card is now available. There's going to be a flash from the Orianna. The Q will not continue from the Vi. But the Mantra W does come in from Karma. His PPN and Ethan are going to have to walk away. But the Mantra Q is coming. TF does drop the Destiny. Does land the stun onto the Milio. There is no ulti available Milio. So there is no cleanse available to Sealot. Will take down PPN. And now Tigger has shown up to the party. Will pick up one. Ethan then takes down Sealot for the trade. But Jinx is excited. Vi does have the fully charged Q. That is no flash for Orianna. And that is Tigger picking up another kill. Now with that start, it is very likely that there is going to be the Dragon startup. Or not, I guess. I got a little too excited. But Papa Smurfy proxying the little Ornn. And Ornn's doing quite a bit of damage to him. Ethan is going to be there. Mordekaiser does not have the Brazil. So is going to immediately flash E. Will likely walk it out, but the Ornn Horn is summoned. Will land. And will he get the Brittle proc? Does not need to. The Bellowing Breath will finish him off. And that is a trade on the side of the map. There's some very, very good plays coming out from both sides. Playing proactively, playing towards the junglers. Knowing full well the junglers are going to be the forms of initiation here. Vi just taking him to level 6 as well as the Wukong. Jinx now with the level 6. Milio only level 4 at this point in the game. While Shirogane is just level 5. One thing you do have to respect is the Twisted Fate Destiny can very much catch out those last minute rotations. If you are even out of position for just 1 second, you can really, really make use of the Destiny there. And I think, especially from what I understand about Twisted Fate, is he is mechanically not necessarily the hardest champion to learn, but if you have a good understanding of League of Legends, you can really abuse Twisted Fate's strength, which is ability to roam, to make plays, and to get into that back line. Now, Papa Smurfy is going to be going for some more aggressive trades onto this Ornn here. The Brittle will proc, but Malice doing its job, doing some damage. Papa Smurfy does have the lead, but Vayne does have the Ghost and will use the Condemn to get the Karma away, but takes quite a chunk of damage. Now Demulon walking into the bot side does pick up a ward that was placed there. They are aware of his presence now as Ethan is going to be getting invaded. He is pinging for some help now from Demulon. Nothing much more will happen there. Papa Smurfy tries to start up the Rift Herald, but Kokas will stop him immediately as the Orianna is now walking up. But the Orianna will rotate back mid. Papa Smurfy will not land the E. But this does mean that it's going to be a relatively easy Dragon setup traps blocking the Milia from getting anywhere, and the Wukong looking for a reset. So first dragon goes over to lost time. Now, the Jinx rocket did go flying. I'm not necessarily sure why. Maybe it was trying to stop a back of some sorts. But not very successful, unfortunately, from Tigger there. Now, Tigger picks up some tower plating. Very easy tower plating there. And gets the extra damage off with the rockets. Karma Mantra Q does so much damage. As now TF. The Vi does spot out Ethan. Twisted Fate does land the stun cover. Milio has roamed. The Demon is going to have to run away. Does have the flash. Is going to Q flash over the wall. Cyclone is procced. Second instance of Cyclone is still yet to be. But Orianna will drop the command Shockwave. Stun card connects. And then Milio will take down Sealord. As that is a very good run coming out from PPN. I love these short names. It makes my life so much easier. I like the short names. So now that does give Ethan a bit more free reign to do the Rift Herald. While Vi is going to be soaking up some of the XP mid. While we see Tigger and Vital are going to be picking up some mad amount of gold there. But the rocket will be dodged. There is no flash for Vayne. I mean, that means no flash for Vi? So there was no flash used, my bad. Just use the tumble. Does look like they can get this tower relatively easily with very little questions asked. Mantra Q does not connect. But now Demilon steals the Rift Herald. Absolute mad lad Q's in with the smite. Absolutely amazing steal coming out there from Mad Demilon. As he gives more gold to Lost Time. Now this is exactly what Lost Time won. They've got the Rift Herald, they got the first dragon, they have got a lot of map control in terms of objectives. Already the first tower taken down bot lane, giving Jinx the full item, which is the Kraken Slayer, and then the Shurelias for the Karma. In fact, a lot of first items have been coming out for Lost Time. They got the Rod of Ages for Twisted Fate, we got the Divine Thunder for the Vi, and then we got the Rhyalize for the Mordekaiser. But then Ornn picking up his Jack Show of the protein powder. Well, Jack Show the protein, but I'm going to call it Jax's protein powder. As now we see there is going to be a Rift Herald drop mid lane, but then Orianna will drop the TP. As it's still telling us the action's top lane. But it does appear the action is going to be mid. Sealord is looking for some setup here. Rift Herald drops, does get the charge. That is going to be more gold into Lost Time's pocket. That Jinx is going to be quite strong into the late game. Good flash coming out from Eritiga. Flashes the Shockwave. But now that is a flashless Jinx. She needs to be extra careful now when looking for these fights. Karma does have Shurelias, does have Empowered E to try and peel a little bit more for this Jinx. But she has got now a big target on her back, especially with no summoners available. Mordekaiser takes the Ornn to Pound Town, as Demilon is going to be trying to steal away the Gromp, but the Cyclone will come out there. Sealord is going to try and stun Ethan, but Ethan has just rocking that Cyclone and will just walk away. Small overextend there from Demilon. Wukong 303 does not have the full item there, but Mantra Q does land. Does a bit of damage. But now Jinx stun card is available, but does not find and connect. So what are we going to see? They are going to be... Okay, Nick, want to do dailies together? Sure, sounds like a date. But gold still, despite it being 6-3, gold is still in Lost Time's favor. Very much chill. The Jinx is picking up some more tower plating mid. The traps are dropped. Vayne is going to try and fight this, but Vayne doesn't have an item. The Jinx has a full Kraken Slayer and will be very easily able to take down this Vayne. With now Wukong picking up the Divine Thunder as well, does even him out with the Vi. Now, the Sheen is going to be picked up by the Twisted Fate. So he's looking to get that burst stun card with the stun card Q auto attack. While Vitality will spot out the Milio. But nothing will happen there. Jinx is going to pick up another tower mid lane. As more gold is in favor of Lost Time. I really should have drunk more water before this. Madra Q does land. But then they pick up the dragon as well. Damian picking up the ocean dragon. Does mean we are going to be getting a Cloud Soul this game. Going to be very, very useful for these teams that make good uses of their ultimates for these picks. Particularly the Destiny as well as the Cease and Desist for the Vi. I speak very highly of Destiny, as it can very much change the form of a team fight. But now we are just watching Milio just put some minions down. And it almost seems like these two junglers are building the exact same thing. I'd be surprised if they're like the same amount of gold, roughly. Yep, they're only about 200 gold separated at this point in the game. With most of the gold now, Twisted Fate still a little bit behind the Orianna. But the Jinx has got a somewhat commanding 1,100 gold lead over the Jinx. I mean, over the Vayne. Well, Milio has gone into debt to try and buy his items, but cannot do so. I didn't know a child could be in debt, but here we are. As now they are funneling more gold into this Jinx, which is quite a very smart move for Lost Time. Karma and Tigger just picking up that extra gold. And now that Jinx has picked up 3 turrets for herself. That is 3 sets of gold. That is not including the tower plating, which picked up from the first tower. But now Mordekaiser will take Cockus into the Death Realm. Has gone to Brazil, but Ethan is there. I think Bubba Smurfy is aware of this. Is going to try and back out and will flash away. As that is Mordekaiser ult and flash available. Vitality is there. Destiny is proc. The Mount Milio is dead. Stun con does connect. That's a lot of damage. And C-Lord takes down PPN as Ethan's back is stopped. Now Orianna, not much she could have done. Milio did have the ulti available, but at that point, I don't think it would have necessarily been worth it. Very long cooldown on that ultimate, around 2 minutes level 1. So now Milio's just going to be extra careful. Yet to pick up an item. Yet to really fully utilize the kit of this champion. But we do see the heavy priority on these AD carries. Very much want to try and funnel as much experience and as much gold into them as possible. With the supports being quite at a level, the Milio being 3 levels below his AD carry. Now only 2. Now Ethan was going to look for the steal and the Rift Herald, but that will be the second Rift Herald again picked up by Lost Time. They are just all over these objectives tonight. And now this constant battle in the I want to say bot lane. It was the top lane, but now it's the bot lane between these two tanks. Is seeming like it's never ending. But Milio has made his appearance down bot side. Wukong making his way to his bottom side of his jungle, while Vi picks up the next scuttle. The Wukong, despite being 303, does not have a shutdown, since he's the only person who is performing at this point to be worthy of a shutdown. But it would not make sense that it's going to be given, as that is a 4,000 gold lead. Now only about 4,000, exactly 4,100 gold lead towards Lost Time. And Papa Smurfy does spot out Ethan and Cockass, or Cockass. Or Cockass, I'm going to say Cockass. Cockus. Gosh, I'm really going to be pronouncing this guy's name wrong the whole time. Cockass. I think I'm going to say Cockass. As the Mantric dude does connect onto PPN, taking quite a big chunk of his health. Gotta bear in mind that Karma does have a full item and does have an Oblivion Orb. Picked up very early, knowing full well how strong Milio's healing can be as the game goes. And now PPN grants the cannon to Shirogane. My goodness, my pronunciation is so bad today. But the scaling game does continue. It is still in favor of last time. They do have the Jinx, Karma, Twisted Fate scaled very well into the late game. But Milio can also be quite useful. And once Milio has got his Mythic, which I believe he is quite close to, about 300 gold, or give or take. As now Wukong does dabble a little bit with the Sea Lord. That is going to be 4 members topside. They do know Baron is a priority for last time. But this is the one objective that Eternal Progress do not want to lose. With that said, the Jinx and the Mordekaiser are actually going to be just immediately picking up that dragon there. Going to be very easy for them. That is the 3rd dragon. They are on soul point now. They are ever so closely just bleeding out Eternal Progress. Making sure that they have no breathing room. There is no place to insert themselves. But there is always a chance. They do have the very, very good hard engage with the Wukong and the Ornn. And then the Orianna can just drop an absolutely massive shockwave along with the Cyclone. But right now, Herald going to be dropped bot side with the Mordekaiser. Well, this does appear to be an attempted Baron start. Well, Papa Smurfy is bot lane. Does have the teleport at the ready, so does the Ornn. And this is going to be the Baron dance. The 2 top laners juke it out. Still a lot of juking out. But now Vi going to be clearing out some vision. Baron is not going to be really picked up. The Vi does land the Q there. But then that is an immediate flash for PPN. It has no summoner there. Cannot flash ulti. But now that is what they needed to pick up this Baron. That Jinx has got 2 items. But the Baron dance will continue as they do drop aggro. They're very much trying to see what their options are. Mordekaiser will be able to pick up that bot lane tower since Ornn made his way to the Baron. And now the Twisted Fate will be able to pick up that top lane wave. So kind of just forcing a lot of pressure on other sides of the map. So I do not think that tower is going to fall. Unless Mordekaiser literally dies for it. But that will not happen. So Papa Smurfy will walk away. But now there are 2 members going bot side. But this is going to be the 2nd attempt to Baron. They do know that the Orianna is bot lane. But Orianna is going to go for the TP. The Ornn is available. The Ornn is there. They are going to just try and rush this down. The traps are called. The Ornn is summoned. Shockwave does land onto Karma. Karma has to burn the flash. Blue team picks up the Baron. Jinx kiting it out. Doing so much damage. The Destiny trying to get the back line. Terra gets the resets, but Vayne is on the back. Vayne has dropped the Ghost. Does drop the Night Hunter. Steelot is running for his life. Mordekaiser is in the Death Realm with the Vayne, but Vayne playing with that invisibility absolutely superbly. As that is now going to be a 4-for-1 in favor of Eternal Progress. Milio picking up that item. The Moonstone, and then the Vayne also now has 2 items, so they are still quite even. And well, with the Vayne having a slightly more aggressive summoner, having the Ghost was very free to do what she pleased. But that does give more room to Eternal Progress to make a comeback in this game. While that team fight was good, the Baron was saved by 1 person. It was only really saved by the Twisted Fate, which is the most ideal you could have asked for pending what happened in that fight. The Twisted Fate can sit in that side lane, can pressure those side lane minions. And I think try and make sure that there's always got to be a TP for the objectives. Now, Orianna is going to be spotted out here. The Orianna is picked out. The flash is burned. But the Shurelias will boost up the Jinx. And that is a kill over to Tigger. 3 for 2 for 2. That is one big team fight ultimate that is not available. That is also a 38-second cooldown on that death timer. Now, with 48 seconds till the next dragon, this is going to be where the next team fight is going to happen. This dragon is very crucial for last time, as they really want to pick up that soul. Now, Jinx has picked up the Infinity Edge. Does have 3 items. The Ornn items are now coming out. Well, the ornaments are coming out. As we see, the shield bow is upgraded first. And then the Jack Show is now upgraded too. Damilon caught between a rock and hard place. Does get condemned to the side of the wall. Has to burn the flash. As we do see, that is going to be the season distance over the wall. TF does get the Sun God onto the vein. The Ornhorn is called. Take a lot of damage being healed up by Milio. Vitality. Gonna get that extra movement speed. That is a flank coming in from Wukong. Excellent Cyclone. But then TF will get onto that backline and top of Smurf. He takes the Ornn into the Death Realm. Shirogane barely surviving. Oh, but then the Mordekaiser picks it up. Does have the Jack Show. Can tank quite a long time. But that is a double kill for the Vayne. As that is an excellent flank coming out from the Wukong. Dropping that Cyclone onto the flashless Jinx. And that will be the first dragon going over to Eternal Progress. One thing's for sure is this Wukong is going to start being a bit of a nightmare. If they have no vision on him, he can hop onto that backline very easily. And unless Karma has Mantra E or even Mantra W, you can't really do much to deal with that Wukong. And now with both the junglers going for more of a fightery style, the Vi has now opted since for the Bramble Vest. Because the healing is starting to get quite out of proportion. And especially now with the Divine Thunder is going to be upgraded for the Wukong. And now Tigger and Vital looking for one more, but now Ethan is going to be spotted out. The Twisted Fate does burn the stun card. The cease and desist will be there for onto Ethan there. Damilon does not have the ulti available. Stun card is going to be up soon. And that is likely a very dead Wukong, as that is a shutdown going over to Sealord. Now going to be able to push this side wave with the Jinx there too. Now with the Wukong dead, that is very minimal threat now to the Jinx. The only real threat is that shockwave. Well, 4v5, Ornn does get the flank onto the Vi, but then gets condemned into the wall immediately. Jinx dropping the traps. And there's a very, very good condemn coming out from Shirogane. As now Mordekaiser is going to be pushing into that top side. Did have the TP if necessary. But does look like they are going to just shadow this Jinx. Well, Mordekaiser picks up one. Vayne is going to be there. Does have the Ghost. Does have the Night Hunter. Will drop it. Will pull the Vayne away. That is no ulti available for Vayne. As TF does drop the ulti. Does drop the stun card onto the Ornn. But immediately will get stunned again. Despite dropping the Bellows Breath. Mantra W connects. Another stun card. But the Ornn is quite tanky. Not going to be able to do too much. That is no destiny for Sealord. As now Wukong is going to be looking for that engage. The Ornhorn is summoned. Wukong is there. Jinx does back away. And does look like Jinx is going to just be able to walk it out. As now we do see multiple red pings onto that Baron. They do want to get the reset. They do want to go and attempt this. But Lost Time will make sure to fight for it. By the time Twisted Fate is able to respawn, he will likely have ulti again. And by the time Baron spawns, he should be ready to go. Despite now spawning in 3 seconds, Vision is going to be popping up for PPN and Ethan. Scuttle is available. Will Damilon go for the steal? Does look like it. Does pick up the Rift Scuttle. Very big brain there. They do know that he does not have like 15 seconds. The TP is now coming in from the Orianna. Just the Fate is not there. Does have the teleport available. Does look like he's going to probably TP in from base. Oh, it has been the TF will be TPing in there. Jinx roots the Milio. Jinx rocket comes out, but so does the Redemption. But massive shockwave into the Cyclone knockup. Sealord having to burn the flash to get out. But the Jinx is not alive, obviously. As now Mad Damien and Ceylon are going to be cleaning this up. Papa Smurfy taking someone to Brazil, not letting them come back. Podcast is running for his life. But that is going to be Baron started up, and that is an ace for lost time. Now with that, I have slightly short of breath. The Jinx was taken down. They did have to burn the flash and the heal, but luckily they were able to get rid of the Vayne very early into the team fight. He wasn't able to use the Ghost or the ultimate. So very, very smart to get rid of the Vayne early, as that does secure the Baron. And as now, they are getting ever closer to that soul. It's 41 seconds till the next dragon. Everyone will be up. Ultimates will all be available. Except for most likely the Twisted Fate's quite a long ultimate cooldown. As well as the Milio. But really cool, good redemption coming out there as well from the Karma. For a second I was confused whose redemption that was. I thought it was a Milio ult. But the redemption comes out. As you do see, they do catch out. Ethan's stun card does connect. That is a rapid fire for Sealard, so we'll be able to get that extra long range stun cards. Now with this 5v5, all ultimates are available for both sides. Both summoners available for the Vayne as well as the Orianna and the Ornn. The Ornn is summoned. Mordekaiser does take the Ornn into the death throne. The Ornn is not summoned. The stun card is available for TF. They are looking for a way through. But massive double shockwave onto Demilon there. But then the redemption will come out. Will do this extra healing that they need. Vayne does get ultied. Wukong does drop the cycle onto Sealard, Vitality, and Tigger. But then the Condemn coming onto Mad Demilon. Papa Smurfy is in the backline taking on Orias. Ethan gets shut down. But Sealard and Vitality are walking away. Vi does drop the Cease and Desist onto Shirogane. Shirogane has to back out as fast as they can. It is 1-for-1. Jungler for 80 carries. The fight is still continuing. Vi does try to go for the Q of the wall, but then gets condemned immediately, as that is a shutdown for Shirogane. And then the Vayne there, desperately trying to kite this out, but that Rylai is doing so much work for Papa Smurfy. Does try and get that kill onto Orios, but that is a shutdown for Caucas93. And that is the second dragon going over to Eternal Progress. Ah, gosh. I really need to get some water at the next intermission, I'm not gonna lie. Whew. Very, very close team fight. Very drawn out team fight. Very messy. The Orianna ulti was burned quite early on, but the Jinx did not survive long enough to get off the Super Mega Death Rocket. And the Vi was only able to get the ulti off near the end of that team fight. The fight went on so long that the Mordekaiser ulti was able to be off and back on cooldown almost immediately. And now we see two Quicksilver Sashes being picked up. The one by the Wukong and other by the Vayne. They do not want to be taken into the Death Realm anytime soon, but this Mordekaiser is not prioritizing any of those targets. He is prioritizing the Ornn. He is trying to get rid of that extra bit of team fight. He's even going to possibly go for that Orianna, if he can. Cake has contributed 2,000 to the cooking stream. Thank you, kind sir, for the contribution to the cooking stream. I still don't know what I'm cooking yet, but all I'm going to say is let me cook. Let me cook, bro. But that is does mean a lot. There is a lot of Merc treads a bit on both sides, relatively speaking. Merc treads for the Vi, Merc treads for Wukong and the Orianna. While the top side did opt for the Tarby's route. As now the Karma has picked up the Knight's Vow for Tigger. We are nearing almost full build for this Twisted Fate. Has only got one more element available. Two stopwatches were used in that team fight. One by the Vi and one by the Mordekaiser. And Orianna is looking to build towards that Rabadon. Now with these last two Ornn items upgraded, it does very much appear that this next fight is possibly going to be do or die for these two teams. 3,000 gold in favor last time. Montague does do a little bit of poke. Knockup does not connect. Some more poke coming out in PPN. But the Vi does get spotted. Oh no, the Vi is there. They are going to try and go for the Orianna. Looking for the Q over the wall. PPN does get it, but the stun card takes a lot of damage from that card. That is going to have to be a reset for the Milio. Gives a little bit of an opportunity last time to make a play. As Milio is not going to be there. Mounted W does connect, but will not land onto Cock as the stun card connects onto the Ornn there. The knockup lands there. Orianna will drop the ball. But not much more will happen. As now the Ornn is likely going to have to go for the reset. Does not have the TP. Very sure that all these items are going to come to fruition. As the Demulon does get over the wall. Not able to connect the ulti onto Oriaz. Multiple members on top side. The Duo guys got to go for the dive on this Orianna. Okay, so now it's going to be the team fight. Ornn does summon the Ornn Horn. The Ornn knockups do go wide. There is no Ornn ultimate available. Very, very crucial cooldown that has been burned. As now they're going to be de-warding, preparing for Baron. It is 20 seconds till Baron. This is going to be the decider, folks. Vi does go for the Q, does not connect onto anyone there. But that is going to be a stun onto Ornn. Ornn has been taken down. The Jinx, the massive shockwave. Mordekaiser takes the Wukong into the death realm. Massive redemption there. TF gets the stun card. Jinx is excited. Vayne is running for her life. The Destiny connects with the stun card. Cease and desist from Mad Demulon. Now all that is left is the Milio. As now Milio is just going to be sitting mid lane. There is not much he can do. They are going to be pushing through that top side. And now the Jinx gets excited. They are going to utilize the attack speed. And there is going to be no one there to stop it. There are long death timers. As the second inhib tower goes down. And then the Nexus falls. And last time, take game 1. Alrighty. We got ourselves a banger game tonight, everybody. Really good first game coming out from last time. As they take down EP. Was very, very close a lot of the time. Very well thought out instrumental team fights. And I think it was just a matter of who was able to get the early lead and get the scaling. So GG's to both teams. GG's to last time. And GG's to Eternal Progress. As we are going to likely be getting ready to go into the next game, I believe. Please do correct me if I am wrong, but I am going to get through the predictions now. And once the predictions are done, I'm going to go to a short intermission while I go get some water and rehydrate. Because voice is a little scratchy at the moment. A lot of screaming and shouting. So I will see you all in the next one. So be sure to stay tuned to this series. We are not done. There is still one more match. Who is it going to be, a tie or our last time going to take the series? Find out after this short break.
Do it. Hello.
All right, so we are going to be joined in by our great friend Toby here. He's going to be my co-caster for the second game. Welcome, Toby.
Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for having me.
All right, what are we expecting from this game? As like looking at these bands are going to be quite quick fire as they have done a pre-draft.
The Jinx band, they're of course expecting it. The Jinx is one of the strongest that he sees, and as we did see the previous game, it got showcased for us.
And then even the Wukong got taken away. Did not want to give that Wukong away very easily. But then the Ornn and Lilia will not Lilia, the Ornn and the Zac will be picked up. So Era going for the engage comp this time around.
The Jack's own matchup, so they are looking to play around top side a little bit more, it seems.
Especially with that hard carry in the side lane as well. Now with Stylus going to be going in the mid lane for Sealord. One of his signature picks alongside Yasuo and Yone. It's very curious to see what he can utilize, especially now all those ultimates become his.
Yeah, seeing he's got a little bit of the lockdown as well with the Vi, and a little bit of tankiness there with the Jack's ult as well. So he has some choices to steal here.
Yeah, he's got a plethora of options, I would say. One thing's for sure is we're gonna have quite interesting game, as in that's going to be the Kai'Sa lock-in for Tai in the bot lane.
Hyperscaling carry. Oh, versus the Xayah, which is also another. So let's see the support matchup.
Yeah, so as we take a look, it is going the Jinx banned away. Does mean that there is now room for the Xayah that is going to be picked up. And then the Alistar. But
yeah. Some of the hard engage, they're coming through on the Alistar and the Rakan picks.
I think we've got quite a few strong picks this game. Rakan being also one of the best supports in the game. A lot of mobility.
Definitely. Yeah, Era going here with, like you said, the hard engage comp this time around.
They're feeling a bit more confident, I would imagine.
And the pick comp is more on the EP side of things.
All right, we got the predictions going. But one thing I was a bit skeptical about if that was the Vel'Koz support rather than the Vel'Koz mid. But yeah, like they've got a lot of disengage as well, particularly with the Alistar. Can knock away the Zac and can knock away the Ornn if necessary.
Yeah, I think also if the Alistar or the Vi could look for an early shutdown on the Silas, they could actually look at, scaling up this Vel'Koz quite quickly, getting him strong to a point where he can stand alone on his own on the side lane.
Yeah, one thing for sure, while we wait on to lobby there, so let's go back to main screen, let's go here. So, I know C-Lord is currently very happy right now, because all we hear about is he wants to pick Silas into Alistar. He loves it. Because the Alistar ulti is so useful, because he can just go ham, takes the Alistar ult, and he's got 70% damage reduction.
Yeah, and he's also got the cleanse on the CC at the moment he activates it. So it's quite a big, how can you put this? It's a turnaround in a team fight. If he can grab that during a team fight, during Vi ult or Jack stun or Xayah snake, he can cause a lot of havoc in a team fight.
Yeah, and I think all it takes is one misstep. I think the Xayah was definitely the way to go in terms of 80 carries here, because all it takes is one Zac knock up, Rakan knock up, and then you're done for. Like,
yeah, it's big. He has quite a lot of peel with the Alistar coming through. Also, the Vel'Koz knockup can also help with it. But picking the Xayah with the self peel ulti with the Featherstorm is quite a good pick into this team, because they do also have a lot of pick potential with the Zac Kai'Sa matchup and also the Rakan flying in.
Yeah, and it's going to be, especially for the likes of Vel'Koz, getting that flash early will be quite useful. Because immobile mages are super easy to shut down. If that is a flashless Vel'Koz, that is quite a free engage for the Rakan. But at the same time, the issue I am seeing is who is going to be dealing with Jax in the side lane. Because he's going to be quite a nightmare, especially for the Ornn. I know Silas will have a bit of a hard time dealing with him, but seems like it's a bit of a risky one there.
I think if the Zac can look, top early, like level 3 gank or such like that, which we don't see often anymore, as it's a lot of crazy ganks coming in now. Now there's a lot of people playing around mid bot because of the dragon being so overpowered as it is.
Mm-hmm.
If the Ornn can, however, keep this lane nice and even, I think he could match him inside lanes later on in the game. He will become too tanky for the Jacks to deal with.
Yeah, and the ornaments will come in a lot in handy here. Kind of giving that extra gold value, that extra damage, and also curious to see what kind of build the Silas is going to be opting for, because Silas has quite a few interesting build paths from what I know. He can go Rod of Ages, Night Harvester, Everfrost. He's got so many different things he can go. Runes can even change. You go Dark Harvest. He can go First Strike. He can go Conqueror. It's all just a matter of what he is feeling and what would suit him better in this team comp.
Seeing that he's not going to be much of the pick potential in this game, seeing that he's going to be playing a lot with his front line, with the Zac, with the Ornn, with the UraKen, everyone diving in onto their team with the hard engage, I think he's most likely going to be going for that Rod of Ages build, which is going to give him a lot more tankiness and a lot of more move speed and sustain.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you there. And I think the scaling which the Rod of Ages does provide for the Silas does make it quite nice for him. Gives him the health and the mana that he needs. While it's actually, and then looking at the runes, he does opt also for the First Strike. As a First Strike enjoyer, this does make me quite a happy man.
As we both see here, as we can see here, Lethal Tempo, there's 3 champions taking Lethal Tempo at this point. Both
Totally a
ADCs have
balanced
it,
rune,
and
not going to lie.
also the Jacks having it, and then the glacial slows coming through on the Alistar and the UraKen, both of them.
And then we got this double. Okay, we got to pause now. So now I'm gonna make sure I set this all up for chat so they don't yell at me. Because last time chat yelled at me.
So we offer in now.
Yeah, so are you in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Alright, so now I'm on 2 seconds. Can you get to 2 seconds?
2 seconds.
Alright, on 3, we unpause, okay? Okay, 1. Okay, I'll wait for you.
2, 1.
3. Okay, no, wait, stop. We messed it up. Okay.
I'm on 3 seconds.
Okay, I'll get to 3 now. Okay, I'm on 3. Okay. Okay, on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright.
4, 5, 6, 7,
7, 8, 9, 10. We are in and we are all ready to go. As now we are into game. This is going to be game 2 of this series. And curious to see what kind of gameplay changes both these teams are going to adapt to.
As we see here, no cheeky late invades or anything going to be happening. Everybody just doing the standard 5-point start.
Can I just say those lines are almost satisfying? It was almost like a satisfying full line, but then Zaya just has to stand further back. Why did Zaya have to stand further back?
That's the safe option.
Yeah, but you gotta be symmetrical, man. Come on, the Kaiser's standing up and everything.
We don't want an early first blood on Sea Lord Silas. As we said, he can cause a lot of havoc.
Oh, we do have the dancing Kaiser. We're just gonna acknowledge Ty here.
Minions have spawned.
Ty. Really embracing the inner Star Guardian.
Having the time of his life with that dance.
His skin looks good, not going to lie.
Especially with that chroma he's got on.
And someone got to match very well with Vitality in the bot side, despite having 2 completely different skin lines.
It's quite a good match. Seeing here, Zac is starting on his red. And also getting a leash. Which means they are probably going to be able to start tracking him now, as both junglers are starting off with a leash.
Yeah, they're both going to be on opposite sides of the map, so that means they will likely both each get a scuttle, depending how the early game goes. But UraKen going for the engage and double glacial. I don't know whose glacials is whose. That's going to get really confusing really quickly.
I would say Era's bot lane actually won out on that trade a little bit there.
Yeah, in particular, and I think the Kai'Sa and the UraKen do want to try and pressure the early game. Do want to try and get level 2.
I think they have at level 2. I think the Alistar actually, if I'm not mistaken, has the little bit of a stronger engage.
And now they're gonna have to back off now with Kai'Sa and Rakan picking up the level 2. Sealard taking a bit of poke damage from Arias. I don't know how to say the top laner's name without sounding like I'm saying a really bad word. Is it
Kokaz. You can say
Kokaz? Is it
Kokaz.
Kaz? Kokaz.
I
Or
think you can say
Kokas?
Kokaz
I was gonna say
without
Kokaz or
being.
Kokas. I don't know. I was trying to figure it out. So
But we
yeah,
are seeing some early poke coming out here from the Valkyr's mid lane,
yeah, but now
which
he's.
might not make it as bad of a pick.
Oh wait, so the Jax tanks the tower shot and gets a grass proc there. So a bit of a misplay coming out from Kokas.
Yeah, good, very good trade there for Smurf, if I would say so myself.
Some do say that Papa Smurfy traded with a Darius and the Darius died.
Ooh. It's probably the brittle stacks that does it all for him.
Yeah, it's what is South African esports without SA Orn as the Silas does land the chains, does quite a bit of poke damage over to Vel'Koz. And almost coming out on top of that trade, but then the passive Vel'Koz procced. I'm not saying the entirety of Vel'Koz is passive because it is like a full SA. One of the, I don't know which one it is.
And Vi looking here for an early, looks like she is looking for a gank topside, or either clearing out the vision here.
Oh, but Alistair trying to go in for a trade there, but ends up losing it as now Vi is topside. He's going to be the flash Q on top of Smurfy, and that is first blood going over to Vi.
That is one of the best starts I think the top lane and jungle duo could have been looking for EP in this stage of the game, and also for their team comp going forward.
Yeah, I mean, the Vi was found the right place at the right time, was quite low, but that is going to be an immediate flash from Shirogane, but then that is going to be the gank, a flash again from PPN, as Zac came in for the gank, and that is now a summonless bot lane as Knockup gets sidestepped.
Vi looking mid here again, and a flash comes out from Sealard. So
Yeah.
he should be fine. He's looking here for the back, and the Jax is on TP just to keep that wave out of his tower now, so that it not shove back into Papa Smith.
Yeah, and it's now Vitality is going to be looking for a bit more aggressive plays, knowing full well that the Jinx does not have, no, not the Jinx, the Xayah. Well, I'm still in the last game, bro. The Xayah does not have the flash available, so it should be a relatively easy knockup if the Rakan is able to land it.
I want to see when this whole map hits 6. I think that's when the juicy skirmishes are going to be start coming out.
Yeah, and I think especially in the ball lane, it's going to get really feisty really quickly with these dives, because both these teams have very dive-orientated junglers and dive-orientated supports. So
don't forget about the ADC. Hey, Xayah and Kai'Sa could also perform very good dives because of their ultis respectively.
Fair enough. I mean, the Xayah can use the ulti, can initially tank aggro and then drop the Feather Storm just as a closing drop aggro. Or Kai'Sa can drop into those back lines who are people who are a little bit low who have been CC'd. Tigger is having a lot of fun on this skin, bro. He's just sitting there dancing half the time. But they are stacking, slow stacking the wave.
Looking like a slow push to get some prio, maybe, because we do see Demilon is busy recalling now at the moment. Maybe looking to set up an early dragon here.
And now Sealard is going to get flash queued on there by Arias, and that is going to be the second kill going over to Eternal Progress.
This is where I stated earlier, is if the Valkos can get ahead in this matchup, I think he can go toe-to-toe with the Sylas. Even though due to his lack of mobility.
Yeah, I think the Valkos is able to play to their range advantage well. They can very much dominate a laning phase and can make it feel like an absolute nightmare for any melee champions there. And from what I'm seeing, just from like base start items for the Sylas, it does look like he's going to go and opt for the Rod of Ages with the Blasting One pickup.
Also an interesting pickup here is the early Dark Seal for the Valkos.
Vel'Koz maybe he's feeling himself a little bit today.
Maybe. I mean, after that flash Q, I mean, he probably is feeling himself.
And now, that is, but one thing to bear in mind that with Vel'Koz without Flash is relatively easy to gank, especially for the likes of a Zac. But now, while there's a fight happening in the top lane between these two, if the Brittle Stack lands, that is a good trade. But Ornn is now going to be summoning the Ornn onto the Jax, going to get the knock-up. And the clap of the cheeks. And is the Jackson able to get it one? Bellowing breath able to take down the Jax.
A very nice sequence of play there by Papa Smithy with the ult knock up into W.
Now, one thing you're also going to notice is that they're picking up the dragon too.
Yes. Yeah. I think that is why the Jax backed off early. He knew he was going to set up the dragon nice and early here. Good early first dragon for Era. If they keep stacking like this, we could see a very early soul as well for them.
Yeah, like just very much what they like to play last. Very much like they played last game. Very high priority on the dragons, high on priority setup. Now, Flash is not available for the Xayah. I don't believe the Flash is available for the Alistar either, but the knockup will land there. Q does connect, the knockup does not land onto Xayah, but Damilon does drop the ulti, does pick up the Alistar, and UraKen will be the receiver of that gold.
Very good angle they're choosing from Damilon to engage there with that E knockup of his with the elastic slingshot. And now, as we do see that they are pressuring the spot side very heavily now.
Making sure there's a big wave under there, and want to get that reset while Damilon picks up the Rift Herald. And one thing I have to
look like he's gonna get it. Looks like EP's gotten the Rift Herald there, as they were going for that bot play.
The objective control is very much like even in terms of who gets it. The dragons still being dominated by last time, where EP are going to be opting to more of the split push. They did not let Damilon steal this one. When now the UraKen does go for the knockup, does land onto Xayah. Kai'Sa is going in, but the immediate exhaust coming out into Xayah with a Featherstorm. And the Featherstorm will not do much. It will root away, but now Damilon is going to get caught out by Ethan and Cockcast, but Silas is going to make his way there. Silas steals the Grandmaster's challenge. As the Featherstorm does land, the stun coming out from Alistar. Flash from Shirogane. Immediate flash again, but then the knockup from Vitality will save Tigger. But Papa Smurfy, unfortunately, take a lot of damage. Ethan takes down Papa Smurfy, and Xayah takes down Vitality.
A very good cross-map play there from EP, as they have gotten 2 kills across the map.
But now Zac is here to save the day. Will he be able to pick up one? He will be able to take down Kokas. Oh gosh. The temptation to say it is so bad. But again...
But as we did see there, I think in terms of trading there, I think it's a lot worth for the Jax there. Even though he does die, he did get the wave under tower there. So, which means that wave will be coming back to his tower. So as soon as he hits the lane, he will be able to get that CS up again, nice and slow. But I do see a little bit of a farming discrepancy starting to build in the mid lane, but the same is going for the bot lane of Era.
Yeah, so Tigger has built up a bit of a gold lead over the Xayah, but now the Silas is struggling a little bit against the Vel'Koz. Silas did sacrifice a bit of his CS to go for that roam topside, but was not able to get anything from it. While now, Tigger's left on his own. Alistar goes for the knockup. UraKen walks away. Stun does land. UraKen will go for the immediate knockup just to deny the Xayah stun. Or Xayah root, sorry.
All in all, about an even trade there coming out from both bot lanes.
Yeah, it's all a matter of playing the counter engage. Like, from what I'm seeing is there's gonna be placing heavy priority on the bot side with now Vel'Koz walking down as well as the Vi. Gonna be a lot of people there, so Silas is going to be walking down river as well. Will get spotted on a control ward while top lane is now juking it out. The stun coming out from Kokas as Papa Smurfy will walk it out, but there does seem to be like there's going to be a brawl happening bot side. 4 members down there. There is a Rift Herald that Vi is likely going to try and drop, or they're going to go for the tower dive. Zac is there. will land on the backline. That is going to be the immediate TP coming out from the Ornn. What are they going to be able to do here? Silas does make it down. The Ornn is summoned. Does land the knock-up to Alistair. Vi ulti is stolen. Featherstorm does land. Ornn does try and get onto the backline. Vi will get into all stolen. Sealard taking down Xayah. Tigger going golden. And PPN getting out very low. Sealard having to walk away while Ethan tries his best to take down one. Arias will pick up Papa Smurfy, but Ethan has to desperately walk away. Sealard taking a lot of damage, not able to heal enough, having to flash over the wall. Rakan goes for the knock-up. Damian is quite low. Tigger trying to order those jacks, but will land the counter-strike. Immediately gets exhausted into Vitality, taking down Kokas. The chains will connect. Tigger picks up Arias and picks up a double kill on the Alistair, as that is an ace for Lost Time.
Very good individual play coming out there from Tigger as well. His spacing was amazing there. But also, as we said earlier, the Vi ult pickup there for Sealord was huge to get onto the backline there of EP.
And definitely, and they were able to set it up perfectly. The TP coming out from Ornn came in clutch. This Featherstorm was burned very, very early in the fight. The Silas Hill had not been able to engage. And from that point onwards, a lot of summoners were burned. I'm pretty sure no one on this map other than Demulon has their flash up. Yeah, no one has flash except for Demulon.
And then we've of course got the Hex flash on the Alistar.
Oh yeah, and there's that Azor, but they were dropped the Rift Herald mid, but it is not going to get anything, as Elard will just completely destroy it. Bit of a wasted Rift Herald there, coming out from Ethan.
Now as a jungler man coming out, right, busy watching this game, where would you from here go as the Zac? Would you be looking to press a lot more, or would you be just looking to just sit bot lane, get your bot lane even further ahead, or where would you be looking at now?
I think bot lane, as much as the Kai'Sa does have quite a lead, it is quite volatile. I think it all plays around who gets the better engage and what summoners are available. But realistically, you want to make sure your Silas is comfortable. I mean, he has picked up a little bit of CS, but Vel'Koz does not have flash. So if I were the Zac, I'd either be going mid or I'd be going bot. But Zac has made his way. He's not able to go bot lane, but Tigger gets taken down by the Xayah. Vitality will drop the E onto Demulon and get out. As we do see now Sealard taking the brunt of the death ray from Vel'Koz. And yeah, like this is as I said, the ball lane very volatile, just even if the Kai'Sa has a bit of a lead.
Yeah, as we saw there, one gank from Levi, and it's all back on his head.
And now that is going to be 1-for-1 in Drake's.
What soul do we get here?
Ooh, we get the Cloud Soul again. That's the second one. I think it's like the third one since I've started casting, like this week. Crazy. Not this week,
But it is,
7 days.
if I'm not mistaken, it is one of the highest win rate souls.
Yeah, definitely. I think because I use a lot of people's ultimates, which aren't generally active ults, that use abilities.
Yeah, for instance, like the Jax, for instance, the Kai'Sa, for instance, the Rakan. It helps the Rakan a massive ton.
And think about the Silas. Like, Silas's ulti at max rank level 16 is like, I think it's about a 20-second cooldown. As if he does get caught out, that is multiple members dropping it onto the Vibe. But PPN tries to go in for the knock-up, tries to slow them down. Will not land the stun. That is 4 members of Lost Time onto this Alistair. He is not going anywhere because Silas is there, is going to land the chains once again. Zac does get onto this Vi. Vi has nowhere to go. And that is Papa Smurfy picking up Ethan. And very good rotations coming out from Lost Time here.
A very good passage of play there from Era. Let's talk a bit about itemization. We do see the early Sunfire Ages coming out here from Papa Smurf.
We got a Kai'Sa Xayah 1v1 here as the Ultra Instinct. Oh, my Killer Instinct used very well, but Featherstorm used even better, as that Xayah will win the 1v1. But okay, sorry, we were interrupted rudely by the team fight. But
that was an amazing 1v1 between 2 great ADCs that we are seeing today.
And it's just the meta of ADC nowadays is Flash Exhaust, and they both use Flash Exhaust in that exact fight, and both their ults. So,
like I said, they have extremely good ultis against each other, but if used correctly, the one wins.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird matchups where if you press Alt first, you lose.
Alright, but now we do see there's going to be a 2v1 onto Papa Smurfy. He is not going to be able to make it out. Does have flash. I was not sure if he necessarily should have burned it there, but that is going to be a flashless on now.
Yeah, I think he rather should have kept the flash, seeing that they still had the leap strike up and everything. I mean, leap strike's cooldown now is not very much, but the Zac going in again here at the top side could maybe look for the trade.
Yeah.
1-for-1.
Bit of a recurring theme onto this Jax here, as he's constantly getting caught out there, but there is going to be the flash, the Q season desist there from Demulon, but Vitality has made his way topside as well. Silas landing the chains. But now the immediate death ray from Vel'Koz is not going to be able to take down Sealard, as he's a tanky boy now with that Rod of Ages.
And that Rod of Ages just after just a little bit more than halfway stacked. A little bit more time, and if that thing gets to full stacked, I mean, the extra level is going to help him a lot, seeing that he is down a bit of CS.
Yeah, one thing I think I also want to just point out is the goal difference. There is absolutely no goal difference between these two teams. Like the Silas will pick up that extra level once he has fully stacked there, but fully stacked the Rod of Ages. But the goal difference will really only start shifting once the Ornn picks up the Mythic, and once he starts giving those Ornn upgrades.
Yeah, I think as the game goes later, I think we are going to see the Era frontline shine a little bit more due to the Radiant Virtue and all of the burn damage they have on them and the sheer tankiness against the, like, I would say more bruiser focused frontline of EP.
Yeah, like aside from the Alistar, who's more, I want to say he's like a pseudo tank, is that he's got tanky stats. His ulti makes him really, really tanky with a 70% damage reduction. But once that ulti is down, he's not as tanky as you would think.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, how you need to play around this Alistar is as soon as he does go in and he presses the ult, you just save your CC, you hang back a bit.
Yeah, like play it out. Don't play too close. Play it as far away from it as you can. Kind of like playing out of an Alawi R. You don't stand in the middle of it, you walk away. Don't fight her, walk away, wait it out, and then wait for your time to strike.
Yeah, I think a very good team fight here would start off for Era if they don't necessarily have to go in first, even though they are playing the hard engaged comp. If they can get a sneaky angle, if they can even get them to engage first with the Vi ult or the Alistar going with the knock-up, it could be good for Era still.
Oh, the Sealard does steal away the Vi Art. Does have the season desist available. TP there coming in from the Jax. Shurgana is in the back line. Zac does catch this Xayah out, as the Silas is going to be catching the Vi. But using the Vi ultimate to get onto the Xayah. Xayah does use the Feather Storm, but Alistair will get the knockup. Sealard goes golden. And Tigger is now kiting out. Ethan is taken down. Ornhorn is summoned. Kokats is taken out by Tigger. Tigger uses the killer instinct to get onto Arias. Picks up a triple kill. Quadra kill. Are they going to give him the Penta? Are they going to give Ty the Penta? They do. And that is a Penta kill for Era Tigger.
And as we see here, like we said, the bot lane matchup is very volatile. The Tigger getting the pentakill there, as seeing that he was ahead, put ahead early by his team.
I mean, this is exactly what you really would have wanted as the Kai'Sa. You've got all this frontline kill with the Ornn and the Zac, and then the Silas can get quite tanky, especially with the Rod of Ages, and then he steals the Alistar ult, and it's just very free positioning for Kai'Sa.
Yeah, I mean, throughout that team fight, most of that team fight, he stayed untouched in the backline.
Yeah, where the positioning of the Xayah was slightly off guard as this walks right into the Zac. But
and
then,
also,
yeah,
as we see there again on display, that cease and desist on the Silas was very good. He could stay on the Xayah, and as I don't know if you do know the interaction, is if you use cease and desist on a champion, you actually end up landing behind them. So even though he presses the Featherstorm, he's not able to get through off without either a Gale Force or a Flash.
Yeah, and especially once it's locked down, because I believe you're unstoppable once you're using it, right?
Yes, so it's a lose-lose situation for the Xayah as soon as the Silas does get locked on with that cease and desist stolen from the Vi.
Yeah, so I think the Silas pick is going to be quite instrumental into getting rid of that Zaya. That's probably why they were able to pick it up, because they wanted the Zaya, and Vi seemingly is very good at getting onto those backline carries. Some would say the Silas using the ulti better than Vi herself.
I mean, we have seen it now showcased by Sealord. I think it's a very good assumption to make. I mean, we have now seen twice where he's used the cease and assist to perfection, I would actually say.
Yeah, and the Rod of Age is stacked. He is level 14. He is the highest level in the game.
Yeah, she's banked on that free level, as we previously said. Blue buff getting traded off here for the Valkars.
Now, if they do get the Cloud Drake, I'm going to emphasize this on stream. So his ulti right now is 55 seconds. That is a relatively low cooldown, all things considered. And then he's also got his bonus cooldown reduction on top of that. Peaks level 16, that is less than 40 seconds on an ultimate.
Yeah, even if it's not 30, so we do
see a fight brewing. So now that CB comes in from Papa Smurfy, he does steal the Alistar ulti, so it does look like they want to go a bit more ham on this tower. Or they possibly
will they be looking for the dive?
They could have for the dive, or they're going to play it safe, look for Baron. They do try, they bait, they engage, triple knockup for for the Ornn there with the Ornn Horn. Kai'Sa, Ultra Instinct onto the back line. Will kill Instinct the back line. Kai'Sa bringing the double kill. Picking up, Silas picking up one on a killing spree, and then Kai'Sa picking up the triple. Zach going into the blobby form, and that is a 4-4-1. My goodness, what happened here? So now they are gonna attempt the dive too. They are gonna go for the dive onto this Jax here. I don't know how good of this an idea. They don't have many minions. That is immediate flash there from Kokas, but Kai'Sa does way too much damage. And the Jax is gonna have to back off.
Yeah, as we also see here, the ornaments, like you said earlier, is coming through clutch with that extra damage and extra attack speed being added on to the Kai'Sa's now Wormfall and Sacrifice.
Yes, I still struggle to remember some of the names. I know the one is called Sizigi. I think that is.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce that.
It's the Eclipse upgrade. It's really, really weird to pronounce. Like, it's so strange. But now, Jackshow the Proteon has been upgraded, and it has been upgraded to the Unspoken Parasite. That doesn't really sound like a scary item. It sounds like my bot lane that's inting, because there are a bunch of unspoken parasites.
A very good pickup here for the UraKen, I would say, is also to help even more with that hard engage is the Shurelya's Battle Song. It's actually a really, really good pickup here for the UraKen.
Very much, I would say, it's quite a staple item for Rakans nowadays. Did like going for the Radiant Virtue when it was in meta, but this just gives him that extra boost of movement speed going for that engage. And can boost up his team to kind of follow up, because he's a fast boy. And notice, his teams usually aren't just as fast as he is, so Shurelya's is always the way to go. As now that is going to be a Baron pickup for last time. The Ornn Horn is summoned. Alistar does drop the ulti. They are trying to look for the carries here, but Alistar is caught out. He is all alone. He has nowhere to go. And Demilon picks up PPN.
They look to push meta. We do see a lot of pings coming out for the Dragon here, so they might just look to fall back, get Dragon, and then look to probably reset.
Yeah, but now the Cease and Desist is picked up by the Silas, so that Zaya is in danger. And Demilon can engage as well. Demilon just chilling. Begins the leap. Zaya is there. Is he going to go for it? No, he's not. Not going to take the chance, as there's a triple root. But then Papa Smurfy are going to walk away. They are going to use the redemption. Double knock up there from Zac into the Rakon Grand entrance. Quickness. And the Kai'Sa is in the back line. The exhaust coming out onto Tigger, but that is another triple kill for the Kai'Sa. That is a quadra kill for the Kai'Sa. And then Zac steals the Penta.
A very, very good engage coming out there from Demilon on the Zac with the triple knock up into Grand Entrance. Oh, and I think this looks like GG, is it not?
I think it looks like game, yeah. Like long death time as the next person to be up. Oh, Alistar and the Jax. That tower is going to fall. The Nexus is being taken down. Lost time are going to take it down. And that is 2-0 against Eternal Progress.
as we saw here, the staple pick coming out on the Sea Lord. On the Silas was a very, very stable pick.
Yeah, I mean he made good use of this. Made good use of the Vi ultimates. Definitely one of these. This is one of the reasons why you don't let the Silas through. The damage really does not reflect how useful he was in this game. I think he had very good setup along with Demulon, able to get into that backline quite easily, giving the Kaisers plenty of breathing room to do the necessary damage.
Yeah, they played very around. They played so well around their bot side, focusing, just getting her to be able to get all the space she could, and using her also as a dive tool when they do engage further down the line.
Yeah, and I think we have to figure out who's going to be getting MVP because I don't like if I'm looking at that game as much as Ty without a doubt did absolutely superbly there. Played the positioning pitch perfectly, only made 2 mistakes and even got a
Ah,
pentakill on top of it. So that's my MVP. I think just this game alone I think kind of sums up how well Tigger has performed this series.
also, well, seeing that I was not here really game one, but I was here game two. In looking into game two, Demulon did come through clutch a lot as well with some very, very big engages to enable Tigger to do what he did.
Yeah, and I mean the KDA reflected 3-0 and 20 on the Zac.
I mean, if the stats speak for itself.
Yeah, so and even in the first game, he was able to just as impactful on the Vi using the season distance very well. And so for me, between Tigger and Demulon, really. So I think that's and then I didn't really. I'll look into the first. I'll look into the second game because it is going to show up in their match histories. So we'll take a look at this at the first one. So first one, Sealard was one of the main reasons why they were able to take down the win. Played the TTF to perfection, using the Destiny very well. So Sealard would get it for that game, but for the series, I actually want to put Vitality up to it because he was
It,
consistent and
yeah,
was always playing very well to the AD carry's advantage, and made sure that Tigger had a safe laning phase and same safe mid game.
I definitely agree with you. He also his peeling was also immaculate on the UraKen this game. Looking also with the nice follow-up engages after Mad Demulon has gone in with the Zac to get that triple ground entrance as we saw at the end, but also did start off some good ending team fights for Era as well.
Yeah, and very good vision score coming all around. Damage taken, very much the Zac coming out on top there. Vision score and CC score, Alistair and Rakan, that's no surprise, along with the Zac. So I'm gonna have to agree with you, and I think it has to go to Demulon.
Hmm. Demilon, well, I mean, Demilon has been enabling a lot of his team, getting the 1v1 trade, the 1-for-1 trades in the top lane as well that helped Smurf stay in the game were also quite instrumental as well.
Yeah. That is that is GG well played to both teams. GG well played to EP. Definitely gave us a very entertaining game to cast out here and to lost time. Congratulations on the dub. But from Mr. Toby here with me
Thanks.
and from myself, thank you to everybody for coming in and tuning in and watching. And I hope you all have a great evening from me.
And thanks for having me. And it was great to cast. Like you said, very fun games to cast. And thanks for everybody for joining.
Yeah. And I hope to see you all soon in the next one.